Hello, everybody. We have our lovely Nicole Schwartz, who you
Hi.
are getting to know more and more every single month because we have been having a lot of different sessions that have all been absolutely masterful. So check out her information on the screen and in the description box below. Today, Nicole and I are going to, with the help of my son Eric. Hi, Eric. I love you. We're
He
going.
says, "Hi, Mom. How are you?"
Good. You know how I am. We're going to interview Pythagoras. Y'all who've had math, y'all know the Pythagorean theorem, okay? Pretty cool. But let me give you a backstory about this guy. Pythagoras of Samos. Wow. 570 to 495 BC. That was a long time ago. I had no idea. Was an ancient
What?
Ionian Greek philosopher, polymath, whatever that is, and the eponymous founder of Pythagoreanism. That's a mouthful. Now, his
That is.
political and religious teachings were well known in Magna Graecia and influenced the philosophies of Plato, Aristotle, and, through them, the entire West in general. Knowledge of his life is clouded by legend. Modern scholars disagree regarding Pythagoras' education and influences, but they do agree that around 530 BC he traveled to Croton in southern Italy, where he founded a school in which initiates were sworn to secrecy and lived a communal not ascetic lifestyle. If you have any questions, go ahead and write them down. Okay, that was not supposed to be read. Ha ha ha. But we do have 16 questions from our lovely, intelligent community. So, Nicole, Eric, are you guys ready?
Yeah, we're ready. Eric
All right.
said, Eric said he did not really like math, but he does remember the Pythagorean theorem.
All right, everybody does almost. All right, Aristotle described Pythagoras as a wonder worker and somewhat of a supernatural figure, attributing to him such aspects as a golden thigh, which was a sign of divinity. What? Who knew? According to Muslim tradition, Pythagoras was said to have been initiated by Hermes, the Egyptian Thoth, Thoth. Is there any truth to that? Golden Thigh and the initiated by Hermes, who was a god, really. It's Mercury.
So they're saying that he was receiving a lot from source. So if they're saying that he would channel him a
Oh,
lot. Um, and I believe his concept was as above, so below. So he kept picking that up and carried that along with him.
interesting.
Um, and he echoed his like mysticism and how he went about his way with his spirituality.
Okay. Interesting. What's the golden thigh? He didn't have a golden thigh, did he?
No, it was kind of like a token, like a totem
Oh,
of
okay. All right.
something. Yeah.
Interesting. Did he have any psychic or mediumship gifts? And did he realize that he had them if he did? Well, everybody
Yeah.
does have, but did he have really strong gifts of mediumship? And
He did. He did. He's saying he didn't really understand what they were at first. He could sense other people's energy and he knew things like before they would happen. And he wasn't really familiar with why it was happening to him because not a lot of people he knew was of that nature or could do or experience the things that he did.
yeah.
So it wasn't until years later when he started on his own path to figuring out what it is or what it was for
Channel?
him.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Did he channel most of the mathematical theorems
Yes.
in the
They're
philosophy?
huge. He channeled a lot of those. He had, you know, angels, archangels, Greek gods, and a
Hmm.
lot of those influences and extraterrestrial influences to
Hmm.
help him create the theorem and create his mathematical practicing.
Well, interesting. I wish I could have channeled the answers from you
Right?
before my test. No,
I
I love
know, right?
math. I really did love math. Uh, it is believed Pythagoras studied with Egyptian priests and learned math and geometry. Did he discover any secret knowledge from his time in Egypt?
Yes.
Ooh.
Sacred geometry was a huge uh, influence of his teachings. He learned what it meant, not that it's just numerical values, but that it was kind of the divine spiritual blueprint.
Oh, yeah. Math
Um,
is the language of the universe, correct, Pythagoras?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And so it kind of shaped his mind thinking that having this blueprint and the consciousness, but then creating the shapes and having it form, having substance, as you see, like having something infinite go to infinite.
Turn into a reality.
Yeah,
Well,
something
sacred
like he,
geometry is like the recipe for various points of reality. Is that what
yes,
you're saying?
yes, it's like
Ooh,
the overarching like spiritual like blueprint. He says everything because math can contribute to it. So numerology, all of that
yeah.
contributes. Your life path number, where you are, your month. You have a life path number, and then you have
Soul
like a
path
year
number or something?
person. Yeah, soul path and a just the personal year, and then so you
Oh,
can have a
yeah.
personal month, and you can have all of that, but all of that lines up. And he liked using geometry with he liked the numbers, what, 3, 4, 5, I mean, and above, but he really resonated with those and what they meant. Like
Interesting.
three is like,
369 is a big one according to Tesla.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So he like kind of started the building blocks of it, if that go
Interesting.
forward.
Okay.
Um, and then he also learned reincarnation, like the concept of reincarnation and how your soul can move on from this physical plane and go to another physical plane. So, because they were really big on that in Egypt.
Cool. Is it true that you had to open your third eye before being admitted to to this esoteric school in Egypt? And if so, how did you do that?
So, he's saying that I had to begin to open up my third eye. It was not completely open. It refined and kind of he's showing me like a paintbrush, like polished up in
Okay.
school, but there was kind of like a prerequisite process. You know how there is like, you want to say that for us, say you want to go to med school, you have to take all these classes.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's kind of like that. So he fasted, he ate a lot of plant-based foods, he ate very clean, very pure, surrounded himself in a lot of stillness, meditated. So he prepped himself kind of before going through the school.
Interesting. So that's how he opened up his third eye. But when he got to did he further open it all the way in the school?
Yeah, because they taught him different techniques and ways for him to further open it. But he's saying through meditation and stillness, that was the first of it.
Okay. And then what's the other techniques? Maybe chants of some sort, some tones, some
Frequency,
tones,
he's saying,
frequencies.
yes, music. Music was a huge factor in his life.
Yeah.
He,
Mathematical, right? There's,
yeah, he really resonated with animals and how like the different sounds of the animals, and he would mimic them or he would try to match their frequency so
oh,
they could be on the
interesting.
same level. Um, that's how he could kind of communicate with them. He was very observant and just loved, be just he's showing. He said the world was so new and so just eye opening, so many different things that
Yeah.
they didn't know.
Yeah. That's true. Um, thought of a question, but I can't remember. Oh, crystal grids. We were talking about sacred geometry. Do crystal grids work? Can you manifest different components in your reality by using crystal grids?
Yes. It's the frequency, saying he's like, just tune into the frequency and have the different kind of um, stones, and if you want to play music or whatever
Oh,
during
yeah.
this ritual process, he says that yes, it does
That's
work.
what I do in the scalar field. I use tones, different frequencies in the scalar machine and transmitter, and of course all sorts of gems and
And you
stones.
know that, and we know that works. So
Yeah, it does work. I'd be particularly interested in asking Pythagoras about his inspirations and mentors. Did he have access to knowledge from the Indian subcontinent? Well, we'll do one at a time. So, tell me about your inspirations and mentors, Mr. Pythagoras.
there was many mentors that were on the other sides. Like he had a lot of extraterrestrial mentors and a lot of angels and archangels that helped him as well. But then a previous philosopher during his time was kind of a mentor, kind of paved the path for him
Okay.
mathematically. And uh, Archangel Metatron was a huge, huge component in um, him with sacred geometry, because Metatron's cube, and they just have a huge um, influence on each other. They have a soul contract.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. Did you have access to knowledge from the Indian subcontinent? Did Indian mathematicians influence you, or did ideas reach you from other cultures?
Yes. Yes, that's a big yes from it all. Like there was different techniques and influences from mathematics that he obtained from um the from Egypt and the continents around there, and how like the blueprint of spirituality was embedded in all different structures and places, and the natural environment. So like he was really seeing like first on like the pyramid, everything.
Interesting. So, what does he look like when you're looking at him?
He to what he's showing me, which is funny what you just said, that he comes across looking like Dumbledore.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, with long white hair is what I'm getting, and he just has a long gown on.
Okay. Cool. How long did you live?
Like 75-ish years.
Oh, that's not bad. And for that time, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Eating clean will do that for you. Were you, this is cool because it shows how good you are, Nicole. How were you able to control animals?
I I didn't really control animals. I kind of was just I could speak with them and on the same, frequency and with the
Match their
tone.
frequency. Yeah.
Yeah. It was more like,
Telepathy?
yes, there was a lot of telepathy and no fear. So when I would approach myself around animals, they would know like I was a kind-hearted soul. I did not have any fear. They know I was not trying to hurt them. It was very intentional. So we just had a huge connection, and it just kind of built from there.
Very cool. How'd you control the weather? Could you control the weather? Let's ask that question first.
I could not control the weather. I was very involved, like very in tune with the moon and the cycles of the moon, the lunar cycles, and how spiritual and how intuition stems from the moon and how mystical it can be. But the weather, I did not.
Okay, so this also proves how wonderful you are. How were you able to write on the moon? And you were just talking about the moon. That's pretty cool.
Right on the moon.
Let me
There,
pick up Bella. She's trying to get up. Maybe. Okay. Sorry about that.
right on the moon. Physically, no.
Okay.
I could not write on the moon, but I could get to my frequency where it felt like I was writing from a place where I could pull things from outer space that felt like that. But no,
Oh, okay.
there was not,
Yeah. Where do they get that impression, I wonder? Where do they get the impression that you can control the weather?
there's a lot of things out there that are not truthful and kind of over time, they kind of just,
Like
oh,
whisper down
different.
the alley. It just
Yeah.
changes
And
an
things just
operator.
never kind of, they never brought light back to it again. So the moon was kind of, we are very in tune with the moon, the cycles and that kind of stuff. So we were able to take the moon as an influence and channel, but not physically do that. And the weather, it was kind of like frequency as well.
Okay.
I could not change. You can't change events that are going to happen. That
No,
is something
no.
unpredicted.
Right.
Even the most brilliant people, no mathematic calculation will tell you how is it going to rain today?
Yeah, I know.
Like right now, like you know what I mean? Like rain, go
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's nothing you can't.
Poof. All right. According to Pythagoras, the tetractys, no, tetractys, T-E-R, no, Tetractys, tetractys, was the symbol of the musical, arithmetic, and geometric ratios upon which the universe was built. What? This mystical symbol was very important to the followers of Pythagoras, probably to him too, who believed that all numbers were sacred and holy. What are some ways we could use this symbol in our spiritual practice? I'm going to look it up while you answer that.
Well, what is tetra? Three? So it's like a
Tetra
triangle.
four. Tetra. Well, no,
Oh, four?
yeah, you're right. No, you're right. I think that's. Oh, okay.
Or is it four? But he's showing me a picture of a triangle and
Okay.
saying it was just kind of the symbol of, the creation of the universe
Wow.
and the concept of, the divine's blueprint going beyond sacred geometry.
Yeah, triangular shape. Yeah. All right. So it's a poetic form, poetic, consisting of 5 lines with a specific syllable pattern that reflects the mystical significance of the number 10 in Pythagorean philosophy. The symbol count per line is 1 2 3 4 10. This pattern builds a kind of triangular shape and it can be used to express a moment, feeling, or observation in a compressed, elegant way, similar in spirit to haiku. So that's why it's poetic. Okay, here's an example. So it's a poem, like a haiku. Star, so bright, that's one, and then so bright is two. In the night, watching from far, burning silently across the black sky. So yeah, watching from far, or okay. So it's really a poem. How can we unlock using this? What can we unlock using the symbol? Let's see if it shows a picture.
He's just saying, like, be more aware of, he said numerology is a huge factor of this. Even the cycles of life, going up to 10. I mean, there's nine, 10 is just one. You can just unlock it by just saying, hi, I wish to unlock this and
Um,
want to know if there's any messages from this that it wants to bring me and see what happens. You can start journaling. But he's saying it's just,
yeah.
it was, it was just a way for us to symbolize, society and school and the creation of his work.
Okay. So what can we unlock? Can we if we write one of these things, like haiku like poem here, is that what it's gonna take to unlock
It's like
them? If we
it's
write
like
one?
he's saying it's like the symbol of like the start, like a creation of something. So it's
Oh,
like
okay, yeah, yeah.
things being created.
So would you recommend us trying to write one of these
He says
Tetractys.
you can.
Will it help do anything if we write and meditate on the poem?
Yes, make sure it's specific to
Oh,
like spirit, like what you want. Like make it as specific, not like bananas. Bananas are good, like
yeah,
make
right,
it
right.
as precise
Like
as you
money, if you want
can.
money, money is good.
Yes. And then
I
meditate on
need
that, and then
more.
you'll see how
I
it can
I
evolve.
want to. Okay. I have to work on that. But yeah, it's probably pretty easy to do, people. You could try it. Dear Pythagoras, how would you explain sacred geometry to us? What is its essence? What a great question. I mean, we talked a little bit about it already, but maybe you'd like to elaborate?
He was just saying it's like the imprint of the divine. Everything starts with numbers and shapes, forms, and they make different shapes, forms, different numbers, make other number. He said everything is just from the creation of something to a whole universe explained in one simple picture.
Okay. Interesting. All right. That's amazing. What was your view on feminism while you were alive? And what's your view now?
Saying my view has not changed. I always viewed women as equals to men. He's saying the divine masculine equals the divine feminine. He was really big on the divine feminine and teaching that in his school.
Hence his fascination with the moon, I'm sure.
Yeah, and so he understood how the moon can influence different factors, in women, and how um, things are brought about, like a new life can be created and
Right. Right.
different mystical finding. He's saying there's just so much.
That's amazing. All right. The Pythagoreans believed in metempsychosis, or the reincarnation of the soul, and saw the universe as a harmony of spheres, with each planet producing a musical note. Can you elaborate on this? I'm going to have to look that one up too, I guess. Put Bella down. Well, not really.
So, so he believed like Hinduism, like in reincarnation, and believe there's negative and positive places around the world everywhere. So everything, if you notice that different countries will resonate at a different frequency than other countries. You might feel very happy in one place and feel very, alarmed or offset in another place. And that's because of the frequency of the people there, the country, and everything. So everything has a tone, a frequency, just like everybody has, a smell
Oh,
to them.
met, me,
Metapsych, is it metas?
psychosis. Psychosis.
Like the soul was always evolving, and the
Oh,
soul could always evolve from different places. That's why he believed maybe not as strictly as Hinduism, but
my
you
God,
can.
it's ChatGPT is just saying here's a tetractys in on the theme of metempsychosis, the transmigration of the soul or reincarnation. Soul takes flight, leaves the flesh, searching anew, woven through lifetimes and shifting bodies. Okay, so it didn't really answer what meant, but I guess reincarnation. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. Of the soul. So Pythagoras, are you on the earth plane now? If so, what are you doing? Are you teaching still or?
On the earth
Oh,
plane
wait, are
now,
you on the earth plane? Yes. Have you
earth plane,
reincarnated?
I re no, but I have reincarnated before. I've
Oh,
reincarnated as multiple people.
cool.
And so I reincarnated as Plato
Oh, okay.
and then Leonardo da Vinci.
Oh, interesting.
Two
Uh,
different times. One was like I wanted to still follow my own teaching and see where that
Oh,
was
okay.
developed. So that's why and then one was, I don't know, thousands years later, I got more into art and expressing myself in that type of way rather than numbers, and how that can, you can express yourself through that.
Okay, I had to mute because the dogs are watching another
Okay.
documentary. Um, can you talk about another life, past or future, that most, besides the ones you've already talked about, the most influenced your one as Pythagoras?
Getting that he was some type of warrior type of soldier in the Greek war, the ones that, they talk about in the books and the stories. Well, I don't know why it just came out of my head. I had to read it in school. Is it the Odyssey, maybe? Something like that. And you're mute, by the way.
I had to because of the dogs. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I forgot to
But
unmute.
no, you're fine. And yeah, so he went back to his Greek root. So he was fighting a lot in like the Trojan War or
Okay.
something, like maybe
Wow.
wasn't. And then there was another life he had. He wasn't a warrior or anything. I don't know if he was a human. He might have been an animal or.
Oh, could be because you like animals.
Mhm,
Okay. So what are you doing on the other side now?
waiting to come back in.
Oh, tell me, you already planned your next incarnation?
Yeah, he says he's been planning them and he's waiting to come back in to be like the net is. I don't know if we'll see it in our lifetime, but he's going to like blast open more. He showed me like different doors are opening from like that's like spiritual doors that people have no idea that they could, you know,
Oh,
grasp because in this age, but we can. And he's teaching, he's creating he's doing along the same lines as this on a higher scale
oh,
in
okay.
this day and age.
Wow. So it's going to blast open people's minds to spirituality. Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure
Like
what you're saying.
there's different things that people we don't know within us that we can do, and he's going to teach a lot of
Oh,
techniques and stuff. So everyone's going to be like,
oh,
"What?" Yeah.
uncover some of our latent powers, right?
Hmm.
Oh, that is really cool. Come on down. We're waiting for you. All right. What is the greatest secret of the universe that we still don't understand? And does it involve math, consciousness, something completely different?
He's saying it involves a little bit of both. Um, he's saying, spirituality is to understand the soul and how the soul can go from one place to another over time throughout the years, and expressing, and spirituality is like our soul's way of expressing its magic. Um, he's saying we can achieve the blueprint of our divinity and our purpose
Wow.
if we just sit in
Yeah.
stillness and meditate and just know that it is achievable within us, because he says a lot of things that they teach us now or taught us is that doesn't exist. No, they downplay a lot of
Oh,
things, and he
yeah.
says a lot of things are being brought back up to light, and if you resonate with it and you feel like it's true, then it holds true.
Interesting. Anything else, Pythagoras, you want to say before we close?
He's saying, I mean, say Eric's laughing. He's saying because it's so funny. I don't know how many years ago what it is, but they're still using the Pythagorean theorem till this day.
Yeah, of course. That's awesome. It's a right triangle, guys. If you don't know the hypotenuse,
Mhm.
I can't remember the equation. I'd have to think
And
about
it all makes sense. He goes, and it all makes sense. Everything.
it.
He really loved triangles. He goes, that was my favorite shape. He loved other shapes. You know,
Yeah,
symbols were
because 3, 6,
infinite.
9 is the power of,
Hmm.
and 3 and 6 is 2 sets of 3s, and 9 is 3 sets of 3s. 3 is a very magical number, people. And it's the key. It's 369 is the key to the universe, according to Tesla. Ugh.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, I'm
Tesla
gonna
said,
close.
no,
Okay.
but he said he helped Pythagoras's work kind of helped him shape going forward.
All right. Well, I better close. This person's dog walking,
No
and
problem.
they know about it. But anyway, y'all check out Nicole Schwartz. She is amazing.
Yeah.
And please subscribe and hit the like button. And
Yes,
love you all.
subscribe.
Love you, Eric. Bye.
Love you, Mom.
This was
Bye.
wonderful. Bye bye.
Bye.